what it's like leaving here. Is this a failure? Have I lost this battle? What will it be like not being able to be, access to this country? So my folks moved up from Wyoming in 1950, and we bought what we called the home place, which was about 40 miles north of Shepherd. And then in 1956, Bull Mountain Place came up for sale, and it really worked well with our other ranch. Bull Mountain Ranch has been a big part of my life, and for circumstances kind of beyond our control, we just recently had to sell the ranch to the Signal Peak Energy that runs the coal mine. I don't think it's so much owning land, because I really don't think you really own land. You're there for a while and you take care of it. It's very hard. One way I was kind of describing it to someone is like a venomous snake bites your arm and your arm gets infected and it's going to kill you. So you got to cut your arm off, and it's a great relief to get your arm cut off. It's going to kill you, but then you still miss your arm, and that's kind of how I feel about it. I haven't grieved this place yet, and it will come, So this was one of the hay meadows, and those pictures of like us stacking hay and pulling bales and all that stuff. That's kind of where this took place. This is where I'd drive the old Jeep down and my tractor and rake hay and just took it totally for granted that the third grader would be driving the Jeep, raking hay and dragging bales. I can appreciate that little boy, and because I can appreciate that little boy, I can appreciate myself now more, because it's always easy to diminish yourself. And, that's a lot of things what I do, but being able to see that perspective of like, yeah, I was something when I was a little kid. And I'm something now. Anyway, time to move on. So that was my childhood spent here, but then when Jeannie and I ran the whole ranch for a while after my dad died, we lived here in the summer with my mom. Grandma took care of the kids a lot while Jeannie and I did our various things, but sometimes when she wasn't around, we'd have to ride and do things, and so we'd just basically pack the kids with us on our horses, and I'd either a front pack or a backpack, or sometimes I'd just kind of, if I had to really ride fast, I'd just hold them like a football, and pretty nice way to raise kids. So this is what we call the coal bank or the coal seam. And it's one of the few places where the Mammoth Raider coal seam is exposed. This place has always been a landmark to us, and then it's a kind of a nice walk from the cabin, so I think my mother probably decided this when my dad died. We walked from the cabin up on top of these sandstone rims and scattered Dad's ashes off the cliff. And so that, I guess, kind of started the tradition of this is kind of where the charters have ended up. So my dad's ashes here, my mother's, my two brothers, Tom and Joe, and my wife Jeannie's ashes are all here. And it will be, kind of a big thing to leave here. And my mom had a segment in her book, Cowboys Don't Walk, that she hoped her ashes wouldn't have to mingle with coal dust. And I got thinking about that and said, well, yeah, Ma, I can kind of understand that, but I think it might be a good deal, too. They are, because that means whatever they're doing here, you're going to be part of it, and so will everybody else. I don't know if my ashes will ever make it here, but we might be able to sneak in maybe sometime, or maybe get a drone and drop a few. There might be a way. My late wife, Jean, told me a story of how the Bull Mountains see themselves. I don't know if she heard this story from someone else, I don't know who that would be, made it up, or channeled it from the land itself. The story goes that the Bulls look out over this huge expanse of Montana and Wyoming. They see themselves as at least equals to these more majestic mountains of this grand area that they are the centerpiece of. I once viewed this sweep of land from the other side, from the top of the Beartooth, and the faraway Bulls just look like an insignificant rise on the prairie. So my mountains may be much smaller in stature, but they are big in heart and spirit, little big mountains, so to speak.